Support.
The maestro, please!
Happy Friday the 13th! It's a shame we don't have 13 albums to go over. This'll be for the week of
September 10th, 2019.
On this day in music back in 1991, Geffen Records threw a party to celebrate the release of Nirvana's Smells Like Teen Spirit just 3 days earlier. Nirvana ended up getting thrown out of their own party for starting a food fight. This has the same problem that a lot of the heavier rock bands have when they do this sort of thing. The band just simply overpowers the orchestra. Yes, there are times where you can hear them, mostly the strings and sometimes the brass, but just hard rock is so overpowering compared to classical instrumentation. Having heard the music of John Williams a million times, it was kind of nice to listen to it in the form of a pseudo-violin concerto.
Don't mean a thing if it ain't got that swing.
Shall I be the clown for you, bonita?
Being both a talented jazz pianist and jazz vocalist, it's always a toss-up with what you're gonna get when she releases something. This one tends to focus more around her vocals than her piano skills, but she still does both wonderfully.
Jolene, 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 I'm begging of you, please don't take...
The thing I enjoyed most about this album is despite the fact that a lot of the songs were covers, her renditions of them are just so different than anything else I've ever heard before. I mean, have you heard how she's doing Jolene? This one's special and can only be bought via a 2-vinyl disc set, so physical release only. If you're familiar with the soundtrack to the video game Cuphead, you know what to expect, that 1920s style jazz. This release is special though because it has extended solos and some solos that never even made it into the video game soundtrack to begin with. So if you're a big Cuphead fan, I recommend getting this before you can't anymore.
Singing.
There are so many things about this album. There are interludes specifically on the digital version because they couldn't fit anything else onto the CD. This is supposed to be one giant song originally. There are supposed to be individual movements within each song. There's the theme of 7. There's a lot in this album, but it's Tool, so what do you expect?
It's bigger than hip-hop, hip-hop. They try to take my floor, I take their ass for ransom. I know that I'm gone. They see me blowing up, now they say they want some. I got 2 twin Glocks, turn you to a dancer. I see 2 twin...
The debut album of Lil Tecca. Now, despite it being 17 tracks long, you're gonna get through it very quickly. Almost every song is under 3 minutes. In fact, there's only one that's over that at 3:23, which makes that song stand out a bit in my mind. Regardless, there are even some songs that are under 2 minutes, so you'll get through it quickly. Eliane still holding on to that #1 spot, followed by Marshmello, DJ Snake, the Chainsmokers, and then Lady Gaga's 2008 The Fame. So it really hits the point home that this chart doesn't change much.
And now I need some help from the maestro, please!
I'm at that London with some big thighs, no fries, cheese steaks with the fish size. Then your mama tell you when something on fire, stop driving road. Yeah.
You know, I'm still surprised this is up here. Not saying it was bad, I just wasn't expecting it to stay up here for so long.
They try to take my floor, I take their ass for ransom. I know that I'm gone. They see me blowing up, now they say they want some. I got 2 twin Glocks, turn you to a dancer. I see 2 twin...
I mean, they released almost half the album as singles. There's 8 of them. That also includes Ransom being on there twice, the original version and then the remix with Juice WRLD.
'Cause you're just a man, it's just what you do. Your head in your hands as you color me.
Talk about an album that's been well received. Pretty much every critique of it has been great. Every media outlet has praised it. I'm inclined to agree with them. It very much shows that pop music can be artistic. And I love how the last track of the album is like a complete sentence. Shocking absolutely no one that we're still talking about this. However, you'll notice that this isn't the #1 album this week, and that's because... Boy, did this upset the Taylor Swift fans, especially considering not a lot of them knew who Tool even is. Regardless, I do think one of the big reasons this is #1 is simply because Tool hasn't released an album in 13 years, and they have some diehard fans. Regardless, I'm sure Lover will be #1 again next week. Now go enjoy all this music under the full moon on Friday the 13th.
And now I need some help on the maestro, please. Maestro.